Hey guys, this is Kim.
And this is Shay, and we're doing the Iyanla Fix My Life Part 1 and 2
episode of Neffe and Shelby that just aired.
Yeah, it just aired. Yeah.
And we wanted to discuss some things that we saw on this show
that we found very interesting.
Yep.
From all sides. I think this was probably one of the most interesting Fix My Lives I've seen.
Yeah.
It was controversial, definitely.
Yeah, it definitely was. Because you saw a lot of things about Iyanla that you never would have expected to come out of her mouth.
Yeah.
As a self-help person, educator. As an educator, like how I kind of
the way she lost her cool, but we
look into that.
Yeah.
So basically, Neffe and Shelby both came on the show because they need help with their marriage.
Yeah, they've been together for like 10 years.
Yeah.
I think married for 5 years.
Yeah.
And they're having some issues with communication,
finances, and
her drinking.
Yep.
Arguing.
Health.
Fighting. Yeah, his health.
Yeah.
Fighting. But you can argue that alcoholism would affect her health too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, they have a lot of stuff going on right now.
Mm-hmm. Because in the beginning of it all, Shelby shares with Iyanla that Neffe is spending about $150 per week on alcohol, and he said she's basically drinking from sun up to sundown, which means that
she's drinking all day long.
Yeah, and the fact that she has kids and
young kids, school age kids,
exactly, to be taken care of, it's kind of disturbing to hear something like that.
It really is. And it's sad too.
Yeah, because
people don't drink just for the hell of it. When people drink, it's usually something going on.
It's like a social or an occasional or girls' night, guys' night, or basketball game.
But when you say drinking from sun up to sundown, you are you got something else going on.
Yeah, it's become a form of habit, like brushing your teeth, brushing your hair. It's like you reaching for the bottle when you get up to by the time you go to sleep.
When people drink that much, that's you hear about them quitting and going through withdrawals and stuff.
Yeah,
because it's an addiction.
Well, her mother,
and your body becomes used to it.
Her mother was an addict of crack. So it's
addiction does run in the family, and it can be passed down. It could be hereditary.
Yeah,
in many cases. And you can have an addictive personality too.
Exactly. So it's kind of like she got both going on.
Yeah. But we're not trying to diagnose her, but that she's saying like her drinking is not a problem. But clearly,
it is.
He feels like her mood changes when she's drinking. Her attitude changes when she's drinking.
Yeah.
And it's affecting their marriage.
It's definitely affecting their communication, because how can you talk to somebody and have a serious conversation?
Yeah,
if they're messed up.
Right. So I think it begins with just giving some background on their relationship and their marriage, and then we find out almost very quickly that they're homeless.
Yeah, their lease got terminated because of some kind of dispute that he got into it with their neighbors.
Yeah, I guess it would be a noise complaint or disturbance, whatever you want to call it. But she tried to put it all on him and say, well, he got into it with our neighbor, and then he jumped in and said, well, I was defending you.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So they never really went into detail about what happened and why he was defending her and why they got into it with the neighbor, but he said that he went to go and pay the rent.
And the landlord didn't want to take the money. She's basically like, you guys need to get out. And I know that coming from a leasing background, they didn't challenge the lease or anything like that, like taking anything to court. They just got their lease terminated. In my past, I was a leasing consultant, meaning that I handled nothing but leases, to know that you can get kicked out. Like if you did any type of disturbance, it could have been where this was the third complaint. They never shared anything about that, or depending on their landlord, with the expensive condos, they not having that.
Yeah.
So they'll just kick you out. Like, hey, you basically, we got to get you out of your lease. So
yeah, and Kim was a leasing consultant for years.
So it's kind of like, with that going on, this young man, he's only 43, has a heart attack.
Yeah. He had just gotten out of the hospital a week prior to the fight with the neighbor.
Exactly. So, and then now you're
getting kicked out of your home.
You're getting kicked out of your home. You're having health issues now, because having something as a heart attack is something as serious as that, and by how young he is.
43 is young.
Like, I mean, this man,
and he's a father and a husband,
and he's the provider. So he is this stressed
right, 'cause he's
out.
working.
Yeah, she's not.
And she's a stay-at-home wife, mom kind of thing.
He's working. He's paying the bills. He's preparing. He said he's preparing food for everybody by the time.
And that's crazy to me. How is it that he's going to work and he may be working 8-hour shifts, 10-hour shifts? You don't know how many shifts he's working or how long he's working. But
right,
if you are, it's nothing wrong being a stay-at-home wife or a stay-at-home mom. But if you are at home, you have the ability to help him with some of those things.
Exactly. Especially if he is taking care of your children that are not by him. Yeah. He basically is their father. He's a father figure. He's setting an example for your children. And all he asks is for you to take care of home.
But I just don't understand how is it that he could work all day long and still come home and cook dinner. But I mean, if you can't do anything else, you could put on a pot of spaghetti,
right? I mean, something. You cannot do anything but sit there and drink from sun up to sundown.
Now, I guess she's trying to make it seem like she didn't really deny whether or not she drinks. She basically said, well, I'm grown and I can do that if I want to. But it's true. You are grown. You can do it if you want to. But if it starts to affect your family life, then it's something that needs to be addressed.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And clearly it's affecting him because he keeps bringing it up. And he brought it up all through episode 1 and 2, her drinking.
Yeah, he did. But he also brought up, the positive thing is how much he does love her.
Yes.
But she said it herself, she uses her voice. And she's always in this defense, like, ready to argue, ready to tear somebody down, ready to rip them a new one. You know, you can tell in this episode, because she basically said it herself, that
I like to use my voice.
She likes to use her voice.
But what's the difference between using your voice and just being attacking? Because it feels like she's attacking him all the time.
It is. It's like they can't sit and have a conversation without him trying to get his point across, without her attacking his point.
But I saw something on Instagram. Her sister Elite. Do you remember Elite?
Yeah, I do.
That's also Keyshia Cole's sister, because Neffe is Keyshia Cole's sister. Mm-hmm. And Elite was watching the video, and she was saying something about nobody's taking care of the kids. She was yelling at the TV.
What?
She was saying something like, they were talking about the kids, and she said, nobody's taking care of the kids. And then she said something about they're making him look good. So we don't know what kind, because Neffe kept trying to allude to that. She kept saying, like, so you just gonna make it seem like it's all me.
Which it kind of looked like in the episode.
Right. So you don't know how it's edited.
Yeah.
You don't know if there were things about him that came out and they didn't show it. But my thing is that it really made it look like he was just the angel and she was the demon. And they kind of do that a lot with black women, I have to say. And then you had Iyanla referencing this whole angry black woman type thing. And you know, the whole stereotype. So it's easy to play up that role. And I think that Neffe makes it easy for people to play up that role.
Yeah, she was the wrong person to do. Because, like, literally, the way that Iyanla came into this episode was based off judging Neffe.
Both episodes.
Both episodes, but just the fact that the way she came into this, how she judged
had her mind made up.
She already was like, you're an alcoholic and
you're an angry black woman.
You're an angry black woman.
But my thing is that when white women or Asian women get angry, you don't hear. Listen, I've seen black girls cuss people out. I've seen Latinas, I've seen Asian people, I've seen white, but it's always this thing about black women that we have to just be angry. If we get mad, we are angry black woman. Anybody else get mad, they just angry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's that stereotype that continues to be perpetuated. And instead of Iyanla, who was a very smart woman, discussing that stereotype, she just labeled her with it.
Exactly. Because she did something last summer with the House of Healing, which I watched that. Which
Iyanla did it.
Yep. Which Shay and I both agree on this, is that she treats the women differently than how she treats the men.
She does treat men and women differently.
And the fact that she had a house of healing for the women, and then she had a house of healing for the men. I saw a difference with her. And also in this episode, you see a difference of how she treats Shelby and how she treats Neffe. Okay?
Anybody with 2 eyes watching that could see from the very beginning she had already made her mind up about it.
Yeah,
you could tell by the way she was looking at her.
Yeah,
I learned. I took some speech classes.
Mm-hmm.
Just having to take them. They were electives or whatever, but you learn a lot. And I remember something in the interpersonal communications class that I'll never forget. The instructor said 80% of communication is nonverbal.
Exactly.
And when you watch people's body language and eye contact, you can learn a lot.
Yes.
If you could mute the TV and just, you don't even have to listen to what's being said. In the very first episode, you don't even have to go to the second episode. Go to the very beginning of the first episode. You can look at the way Iyanla is looking at her.
Yes.
She looks at him with compassion.
But
she looks at her with anger, and it looks...
It's no empathy.
Negative.
Yeah, it's no empathy there for her.
No compassion.
Because we'll even talk about some of the things that Neffe has said, but even some of the things that we know about Neffe, if you watch the Keyshia Cole show,
you know Neffe has been through a lot.
She's been through a lot.
She was abandoned as a child by her mother, who was a drug addict. That's also Keyshia Cole's mother. Keyshia Cole was lucky enough to go into a foster home and be adopted. I don't know if it was a foster home, it was a friend of the family, but she was adopted into a family. Neffe was left with her grandmother. Then she was sexually abused at 9 years old. She's been through a lot of stuff in her life. So that can cause a person to be angry.
Exactly.
She doesn't have to be just an angry black woman. She can be an angry human being.
Exactly.
Because when you've been through a lot and you feel like people have abandoned you or nobody protected you,
it's an instinct you're already angry about life.
Because you Neffe has claimed she's dealt with all her stuff and that she's over the abuse, but I don't think a person who drinks as much as her, or it sounds like as much as she drinks, is completely over it. But in her own way, she probably just doesn't want to deal with it. But I really didn't like the fact that it seemed like Iyanla had decided she didn't like her before she even met her. How can you help a person if you have already judged them prior?
You can't.
Neffe had barely got 2 words out of her mouth. You could look in Iyanla's eyes and see she was already done with her. She was going to rip her a new one, regardless of what Neffe did. So Neffe was already in an uphill battle. Because the person who's supposed to be helping you has already prejudged you. So, you know, and I was wondering if they're homeless, what's going on with her and Keyshia Cole? Have they fallen out?
Because you would think that Keyshia, I swear, I thought Keyshia had originally bought Neffe a house for her and her kids.
She did, because it was on the Keyshia Cole way back had a show on BET. She had her and her sisters, that they all were in a house. Not all of her sisters, but at least it was Neffe in a house and Neffe's children. I can't remember if Elite, that other sister, was living there, but I know Neffe had a house. So I don't know if they lost the house, if Keyshia got sick of the drama, put them out the house. So I'm not going to prejudge. You can't say nothing about Keyshia because it looks like she had tried to help her family.
She did, especially, like, she never would leave them out of things. Like, from the episode, like, they was always around her. They, you know, especially when she was trying to find other family members. She was trying to find her dad, remember? She was a family person. So we really don't know what actually happened between them. But all we do know is these 2 people are living in a hotel with kids.
And it's sad.
You know,
that's sad because children need to have
a stable home,
and a stable environment. And it's sad to know that they living out of a hotel. I don't know where they are now, because who knows between the time this was filmed and where they ended up. But hopefully they have a home by now, because that was pretty sad.
And the fact that how they met, Neffe was going already through a divorce. And then she said all this. I had a boyfriend.
She was going through a divorce. She had a boyfriend
and pregnant. And they then ended up moving into Shelby's home with his friend, right? They was all like roommates.
And then he liked her. But what did it say that they actually met at a party?
They met at a party.
She was pregnant at the party.
They met at a party. And he immediately felt some type of attraction towards her.
He immediately fell for her. So when she needed help, she needed a home, she needed a place to stay for her and her children. They didn't say how many kids she had at the time, but I'm guessing when you say children, it's plural,
more than one.
She at least had 2 or 3. So she moves in with Shelby and his friend. She already has 2 or 3 kids. She is pregnant, and she comes with her boyfriend, and Shelby likes her and is probably making passes at her in front of the boyfriend, because at some point they got together.
They got together because they ended up being together for 10 years and then got married.
And, they were together for 5 years and then got married and been together another 5 years. So that was already a shady way to get together. That she was pregnant with a boyfriend, going through a divorce, and she had a couple kids, and just moved in like that.
The whole foundation of that relationship getting started was already rocky.
It's already on shaky ground.
Because she don't even really know him. Right then and there, she needed him.
You done moved your kids in with a random man. Two
random men.
Well, she said one of them was her friend.
But still.
But you didn't move your kids. Child. I guess you got to do what you got to do in that particular situation. You don't have nowhere to go. But it's just kind of, the whole way they got together is a little like, it's a little, it's a little side eye.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a little side eye moment to the way they got together.
Yeah. But there was some kind of discussion on Twitter about his name, and Shay knows it more than I do.
Yeah, well, you know, when these shows come on, I'm always like looking up the hashtags and stuff like that. Like, what are people saying about it? And, you know, because Iyanla talked about the fact that he was suffering from depression and how 2 million Black men suffer from depression, and I think it's 90% go untreated, which is so sad. So if you are dealing with depression, do not feel ashamed.
Exactly.
Do not feel like it's anything wrong with you.
Yes.
At the end of the day, everybody's mind works differently, and if you can go to someone and talk to someone and get some help, do that. Don't let anybody make you feel bad about if you have to use medication or if you go to therapy. First of all, it's not everybody's business, so you tell them if you choose to. Secondly, don't let anybody make you feel like there's anything wrong with going to get help. I don't care if you're male, female. I don't care what race you are, religion, whatever. Do what you got to do to take care of you.
Exactly, because depression is a very, very serious thing going on. It's been going on for millions of years, but especially right now in our community as being Black.
Yeah.
It's something that's...
And I think with men, too, because men, first of all, don't even like going to the doctor.
Oh, yeah, they don't.
Then, it's not just Black men. I think the Black community is very hard on people about getting help. Yeah. The Black community, we got to work on that. Not judging each other for certain things, but that's also, you could also argue that's a stereotype, because there are some Black people who are really open about it. Mm-hmm. I'm very open about it. I've suffered with depression. I have to do all kind of things to get myself well. I study supplements, and I've tried medication. But look, do what you got to do for you. Don't let anybody make you feel bad about getting yourself help, because at the end of the day, you're the only one that got to lay your head on the pillow at night and be comfortable with your decisions. Exactly. It's nobody else's business.
Nobody.
And if they got a problem with it, then chuck them the deuces and say tough luck.
Exactly.
I'm going to get my life together whether you like it or not.
Exactly.
So,
back to his name. I had to think about what was his name.
But, okay, so this is how the discussion came on about Sullow. Yeah. Because his rap name was Sullow, but his real name is Shelby. But his rap name, and how I know his name was Sullow is because when he was on the Housewives and all, the Housewives. I was thinking about the house. When he was on Keyshia Cole's show, him and Neffe were together and all this stuff. He went by the name Sullow, and it's spelled like soul, SOUL. And then LOW, one word, Sullow. And people on Twitter were making comments like, be careful what you call yourself. Be careful about the name you go by, because you are saying your soul is low.
Oh.
Because it's literally spelled SOULLOW.
Now I'm getting it. So his soul
is
actually low.
And sometimes you don't even really realize the stuff that you put out there into the universe about yourself. Now, he doesn't go by the name anymore, I'm guessing, because the whole episode they called him Shelby.
Right.
But I just found it so interesting that on Twitter, people remember. People still remember that his name at one time was Sullow. And people are saying, be careful what you call yourself.
That is true.
It is very true.
So don't have a nickname that is like, you know.
I remember when I was going through the most depressing time in my life. I was going through a lot of stuff, and I was saying, I was having a conversation, I think, with my sister, and I was saying something like I felt like a tortured soul or something like that, and she was like, "Never say that. Never put that out there." Never. And it's people who actually, I've seen people with tattoos that say tortured soul and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, you don't do it. Don't do it.
get that tattoo removed or cover it up or something else, but then it's still on your body. I would get it removed.
Right.
don't brandish yourself with something like that.
Right.
You know, so I thought that was an interesting conversation that people were having on Twitter about his name, Sullow.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And to be depressed,
that's deep.
And your soul is low.
Yeah. And that's deep.
And then you're in a marriage where you're unhappy.
Girl, speaking of that, about this, okay, I get when Iyanla does this with the baggage, like has people holding bricks and stuff, and
yeah, she always got props. She love props.
Yeah, but okay, so they brought all this. They had to pack bags and stuff, and basically, you know, what she always, if you've ever watched any of her Fix My Life shows, how they always have to, you know, carry around weight that they've been carrying, but it's actual, like something that they can physically see.
Yeah.
The one thing that I didn't like was when she went outside in the hallway and was just like talking bad. You know what I mean? Just
she already had her mind made up.
Yeah.
It's just kind of what we got from the episode. She had her mind made up about Neffe before she even met her.
And then speaking of that, like how she brought up Neffeteria. Her real name is Neffeteria. If y'all didn't know, Neffe's real name is Neffeteria. Most of us do. And how Neffeteria calls herself Neffe. And Neffe is the one that normally is the drinker, the
arguer, the one who likes to argue, the dramatic one.
Right.
Neffeteria is the person who actually got married, who's happily married, who is nice and sweet and
a mother. You know, just
good wife and all these things. Neffeteria is somebody else. But what I find interesting is, to me, when you describe yourself as two different people, that means to me that says you don't know yourself.
You don't, but she doesn't. She said
she admitted that though.
She was like, I don't know
her for that. I respect her for that.
I do too, because she said I don't know who Neffeteria is. You know, and I get that, because sometimes you never, you know, for some people who are alcoholics, want to be a good person, they just don't know how to be. Not saying that all alcoholics are bad people, but just in general, like watching Intervention, how, you know, they're alcoholics and then they change it to this, they
go into something else.
Yeah.
And I'm not judging her, because at the end of the day, it has to be something in her that makes her feel like she want to go by two different things.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to associate that as this is who I am.
Right.
That I am this mean person.
Right.
I am the person who does. But I think that if you really want to grow and heal, sometimes you have to see like, yeah, this is me, and how do I fix this?
Right.
So I don't do this anymore.
Exactly.
There was a time in my life where I was like going back and forth with that, like, am I like this or am I like that? Blah, blah, blah. I think that Neffe would really benefit from sitting down and talking to somebody. And not on television, but an actual psychiatrist or somebody who can really sit down and get to the nitty gritty of what she's been through and how she can overcome it. Because when you see yourself as two different people, then on one hand you're able to withdraw a little bit and say, well, I'm not a bad person because this is who I am when I'm drinking.
Right.
But that's not who I am as a woman.
Right, exactly.
But on the other hand, it probably allows you to let yourself off the hook.
Right.
But not take ownership of
I was
the things
take responsibility of what you're doing, because you're still doing it regardless.
So I think, listen, a lot of us have nicknames. My name is Shireen. You can call me Shay. Kimberly's
my real name. You can call me Kim. So.
Right. But I'm not sitting here saying Shay is one person and Shireen is another person.
Exactly.
They're the same person.
Exactly.
It's just two different names. It's just the same person.
Exactly. It's just like how her name is Neffeteria. She goes by Neffe. It's like she's saying she's two different people. And that right there,
not like she's schizophrenic, too.
Right. It's like more so
she's
one drink, one party.
She's putting the ownership of one behavior on one, and the ownership. So when it's good behavior, it's Neffeteria.
Right.
And when it's bad behavior, it's Neffe. So then, by doing that, you don't have to really own what you're doing and what you're saying and how you treating people and how you behave and how you speak to people, because you have given yourself a free pass by saying, no, it's the other me.
Right.
But I respect her for being honest.
At least she said that. Right.
Because you cannot fix what you will not acknowledge. So by her admitting that she doesn't want to see herself as Neffe, and admitting that she needs to change,
right,
and admitting she doesn't know herself, she is on the path
she's starting
to start
right.
and do something different.
Some people don't even say stuff like that. Like, oh well,
they don't see anything wrong with it.
Right.
You don't like it? Don't fuck with me.
Exactly.
Don't hang out with me.
Exactly. But she at least is owning up, and that's something that she did not get credit for.
No, she didn't.
She didn't get credit for it.
Neffe had been judged from the moment
she hadn't
even got there yet, and y'all already had her mind made up about who she was, and she didn't like her.
Exactly.
And I really felt bad watching her because she coddled him and bashed her.
Well, yeah, because he talked about he had got molested. Shelby got molested
along with his sister.
Okay,
so the story was that his mother was with his father.
Yes.
His father was a college ball player who was going to be able to make it to the NBA or something like that.
Right.
She left his father, moved to Flint, Michigan, then moved in with a couple. And then the couple was sexually abusing him and his sister.
Yeah.
And his father, I think, left school to come back and be back with his mom.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it messed up his whole career his schooling or something like that.
It did something like that.
It derailed his life, basically.
Yeah.
And I noticed that he seems conflicted when he talks about his mom.
Yeah.
Like maybe he loves her, but she didn't look out for him. Because I know at one point, I think it's in the second episode, he says that his mom... he told his mom about the abuse, and she said that him and his sister were lying or something like that. So that has to affect you.
That has to hurt deep down.
And for a man to be abused in that way and all of that stuff. Yeah. I mean, it's difficult for a woman and a man, and I would just think that you would hope that your parent would believe you
and understand
and take you at your word and defend you and protect you.
Right. But since he didn't get that from his mom,
that also affects him.
Right. And here comes Iyanla cradling him like he was a baby. Like, I'm here. I'm not necessarily saying I'm mama now, but basically
showing him the
giving him that compassion and stuff that he didn't get at that time that he needed in his life. But
but it makes sense because he did say he would rather die than live.
And I get that because he's depressed, and so they're both depressed. Is what I was gonna say.
That's what I got from.
They're both depressed.
They just dealing with it differently.
Because even with Neffe, when she discusses with Iyanla, one of her issues, or one of the big things that happened in her life that she talked about was she lost her 3-month-old. From her
3-month-old.
3-month-year-old. I said 3-year-month-year-old.
She lost her 3-month-old, and she found the baby dead and he's not breathing, stiff.
And as a mother myself. To even think about something like that, it brings up tears to my eyes because, a 3-month-old, even if it's a year old, even if it's 18, that's your child, and she can't get that out of her head, which I understand. And the fact that
that was the one time she really cried.
Those were real tears, and Iyanla was just like, Neffe, I'm so sorry.
And she hugged her. She did.
She wiped her tears, but it still was just like she was trying to zoom in on Neffe. Like, are you acting? Because, basically.
You got that feeling that she thought that Neffe was an actor.
Yeah, because she already looked at
the only time she ever showed Neffe any empathy was that one moment where she talked about the baby.
Yeah, that's it.
That was about it.
She didn't ask, okay, so where did this alcohol come into play? When
did you start drinking that much?
Never.
Yeah, she didn't try to. That's a good point. She never really tried to get down deep
because it's a sign.
But she wanted to get deep into what was going on with
Shelby, but not with Neffe. Because remember, we already talked about that. She was prejudging her. She already knew because she watched videos of Neffe, judged her based on that. She called her a stereotype, the typical angry black woman. You know what I'm saying? Basically, the quote unquote, because she's really not. It's like, how could you have a show in the past, last summer, talking about how you want to break the stereotype of an angry black woman, but here we are now this year, and you're bringing it up in this episode? I am conflicted.
And then you don't discuss it.
No.
You just label her that and keep it moving.
Exactly. And I'm sitting up here like, I don't get it. Yeah. It made me mad a little bit. I kind of got a little upset about that.
But even before they got into the conversation about the 3-month-old baby, there was the whole conversation where she wanted to get Shelby to be pampered.
Oh, yeah.
She wanted him to be taken care of.
Yeah, because he hasn't.
She sends, because she said he doesn't know what it's like to be taken care of because he always takes care of. He's always taking care of other people. Now that may be true,
right?
That may be true.
We get that.
But the empathy you show him, can you not show that to the other person as well?
Exactly, because they're both depressed. They are both.
And she may not look depressed in this, and you may not look at it in this one and go, "Oh, she looked depressed." But see, what you may not realize is we've watched her before.
Exactly.
So if you've never seen her before, you may not realize it. But she even talked about when she had the BET show with Keyshia Cole and all that, about her drinking, and about how she was using alcohol to mask a lot of pain and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So she's basically admitted to being depressed before.
Right.
Now she didn't really get into it this time, but she could. She really couldn't because you didn't want to dig deep and figure out who she was as a person. You had already decided who she was, so you wanted to put him on a pedestal. And just basically send her to hell. Yeah. Or send her through hell.
Exactly. Basically.
And she's already been through hell.
Exactly.
And so you gonna finish dragging her through it while you put him up and give him an angel halo with wings.
I'm here, honey. Get it out. Let it out.
She's cradling him. She's hugging him on. Put your head in my boob.
Right. That really made Shay. I literally, guys, I had to pause this episode and call Sheree.
Yes.
Because I was Shay, Sheree. So y'all won't get confused. I'm Kimberly and Kim. But I had to call Shay and ask her. Well, Shay actually told me, she was like, "Did you see the part where
I wasn't annoyed that she was hugging him. Because when you admit to something like I've been abused, and I know what it's like to be abused, so you know, that's another story for another time, but I understand what that is like.
And you need somebody
to lean on.
Yes.
And he hasn't really had that in his life. And it's sad that he doesn't feel like he has that even in his wife.
No.
Which tells me that they both messed up when they married each other.
Oh, yeah.
But she never tells him he has to have some responsibility for who he chose as a life partner.
Right. It's all
on Neffe. Shelby didn't do nothing wrong. I promise you, he just fell out of this cloud.
Right.
He dropped down. He was born with the halo, the wings. I promise you, he been drinking Red Bull all his life. He always had wings. I'm telling you, like, the part that annoyed me was not that she was hugging him. It was the fact that she had so much empathy for him and had absolutely none for her.
Yep. And I called Shay and told her I'm angry. It was because they both equally have gone through stuff. And it's like when she was talking about, I gotta bring that back up, when she was talking about losing her child. Yeah. That is something that'll make you drink. Yeah. That will make you drink. To pick up a baby from his neck and it's not alive anymore.
And did you hear the part where she said the father tried to give the baby CPR? His lips turned black.
His lips turned black and she just...
Can you imagine the visual?
Yeah.
I found my great-grandmother passed away when I was 16. I didn't get that out of She actually took her last breath in my arms. I did not get the visual of that out of my mind for years. Yeah. To this day, it's like something that... Oh
yeah, it'll get to you.
First of all, to see a dead body is difficult in itself. Right. But for that person to be someone that you know and that you love, and I can imagine for her, it's somebody that she gave birth to. Yeah. And they maybe touched on that a little bit.
And little bit.
You kept going back to his pain.
Very little bit. And that really bothered me. And we both talked about that. Like, even like, what was that? He fell in love with you as a person?
Yeah. They talked about how they met and how when he met her, he fell madly in love with her. He basically fell in love with her at first sight. Right. He seen her and he was just like, wow, that's the woman for me. Now we get to how I was really conflicted with how Neffe described her falling in love with him, because she talks about how
he does things for her.
Yeah. Well, she didn't say that. Iyanla
said that.
What Neffe said was, I fell in love with him because of how he treated me. Okay, now that would make a woman fall in love with a man. Right. Because if you, listen, Kim and I both have had, and most people, if you've had at least one relationship where you look back and go, what the hell was I thinking?
Oh my God.
Why did I date that person? Exactly. Right? So everybody has had that moment where they dated somebody who didn't deserve them, or who you know you should have never given them your time. Exactly. Okay. So when you're talking about, I fell in love with him based on how he treated me, He was good to me.
Yeah.
He showed me. Okay, mind you, this is someone who's been abandoned.
Yes.
She's been molested.
Yes.
She's been mistreated.
Yep.
She probably didn't know her father.
Yeah.
Her mother was a drug addict.
Yes.
She was raised by her grandparents.
Yep.
Mind you, this is a woman who was molested as a 9-year-old girl by a man. That alone will do something to you mentally as a child.
Exactly.
So when you grow up, she probably was already dating the wrong kind of men because she was living a fast life. She said she ran away from home looking for her mother.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So she mentally was probably already dating men who were, let's be honest, slanging, drug dealers.
Yep.
She probably has dated the whole. She's run the gamut of all dating all kind of guys.
Exactly.
So it makes sense that she would say, I fell in love with how he treated me because maybe he was the first person that was ever respectful to her.
Exactly.
Maybe he's the first person that ever actually listened to her. Mm-hmm. But Iyanla just jumped in and went, you fell in love with what he could do for you. Right. Now, part of it, she did say something. Okay, she also said, I fell in love with how he treated my children.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
That would make me want to love somebody. That would make me fall in love. Like, if, not the only thing, but, one of the things is, if you got all these kids and this man says, I'll take care of you and your children.
And treat your children with respect. And mind you, this is a good guy because this is a man who was mistreated when he was a child.
Exactly.
And she was mistreated when she was a child. And so they both know what that looks like. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And he came in, and some people continue the cycle. Yeah. Good for him that he didn't.
Right.
He came in and was good to the
broke
kids. Yeah. Whereas a man came into his life and mistreated him.
Molested him.
So I on one hand really understand where Neffe was coming from when she said, I fell in love with how he treated me, how he treated my children.
Right.
But then she starts talking about, well, he was taking me dancing. He was doing all. Okay, now I need you to be more specific. Right. I need you to get down deep. How did he make you feel? How did you make him feel? Did you listen to him? Part of how it was so easy for Iyanla to go in on Neffe was because Neffe didn't know that much about him.
She doesn't. She still doesn't know that much about him.
But then that makes me wonder, how much does he know about her? Right. But see, Iyanla don't ask those questions because she don't plan on attacking him. She's only going to attack her.
Neffe, right?
So, on one hand, it is like, okay, now, Neffe, you do kind of sound like a little bit like you using him a little bit. There are some points where you just like, are you just with him because he's a provider? He make the money. You don't have to work.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm starting to feel like
it's like two sides. But she only showed one side.
Exactly.
She could not see past how she already had this perception of her. Mm. She saw her as an angry black woman who was an alcoholic, who had children by a couple different men, who, she basically treated Neffe like she saw her. Now, she never said the word, but the word I'm going to use is hood rat.
Yeah.
That's kind of... Because what did she say second episode? She's a gutter snipe straight up out the hood.
Out the hood. And
you basically called her a hood rat.
Yeah, you did.
If that's how you seen her the entire time, how could you be there to help her?
Exactly. How are you there to help her find
At the end of the day, she's wrong.
Neffeteria?
She's wrong for a lot of things she does, but she's still human.
Yeah.
And you can't.
She's seeking help. That's the main thing. They're both seeking help, and you cannot sit up here and judge somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I what I'm thinking is that I've always learned that you can't truly help somebody if you always put them on the defense.
Right, you never can.
If your actions make, like, okay, so say I'm supposed to help you, Kim. Yeah. And I say, you know what, Kim, you really have to work on your attitude. Maybe we can try some anger management, That's, you're going to take that one way. If I say, girl, your attitude is jacked up. Exactly. I can't stand how you treat people. What is wrong with you? You get what I'm saying? When you put a person on a defense, they can't hear anything else you're saying anyway. Exactly. And if you're an actual life coach, you would know that already.
Exactly. That's the problem.
And the thing about Iyanla is smart as hell.
Yes.
Oprah know that. Oprah wouldn't give Iyanla the position.
Her a show.
Right. So it just felt like, while Iyanla was saying, are you doing this for TV? Part of me felt like Iyanla was doing some things for TV.
The way she was attacking her.
You knew when you called her a bitch and a gutter snipe and all that, they was going to air that.
Yep.
And that was going to be previews and it was going to get people excited to watch the show.
Exactly.
So while you are accusing her of one thing, you may have in your own way shown yourself to be something close to what you're accusing her of.
Oh, I agree.
You get what I'm saying?
That definitely makes me mad about that, and the fact that she's such this great educator for self-help. On Facebook, I'm always sharing and reposting, and I follow her. So, after watching this,
it kind of make you look at her differently a little bit.
Yeah, I'm looking at her.
I mean, a lot of people loved it. People on Twitter were eating it up. They were all pro Iyanla. Everybody was kind of like on her side on Twitter. Yeah. It was only one or two people like, did you really need to call her a bitch?
Right.
For the most part, people were on Iyanla's side. And then to me, it was just like, are we watching the same show?
Right, because my thing is this, like, I'm sorry, but on this one, I would say maybe a few weeks ago, Iyanla posted something about how us women shouldn't be calling each other women bitches.
She said that?
Because we're beloveds, we're sisters.
The audacity.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if I can pull it up and screenshot it, I will, because she did say that.
She said that
women
should not be calling each other bitches.
I have to find it, and hopefully she didn't delete it, because the thing
that's hypocritical.
Because she literally said we should not be called, because we are queens, we are sisters.
But all of that is true,
and it's true. That's something that you would expect Iyanla to say, but you would never expect her to call another woman a bitch
and own it. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing wrong but then she did apologize, but she said, I didn't apologize. I'm not apologizing.
That was a half-assed apology.
Yeah,
that was not.
It wasn't a real apology.
We didn't get to that part. Okay, so let's keep it moving so we can get to the part that everybody was talking about. So then they talked about in the episode that they had a house.
Yes.
And that they had found a home, and then by the end of the week they were gonna be moving on they were gonna be moving into their new home.
Right.
Come to find out, it was a lie.
Yeah.
Neffe was the one who told this lie. Now, see, Neffe, we trying to help you out, girl, but you're lying.
Yeah.
And getting caught in your lie.
Yeah.
So, Neffe says to Iyanla, we found a home, and our kids not gonna be living out of a hotel because we're gonna move in at the end of the week. When they come down to get Iyanla and say he's having
a breakdown.
Yeah,
he's upstairs. She goes upstairs. They have a little discussion.
And he said I don't want to do this no more with the cameras and all this stuff.
Right.
And then they get into the fact that they don't really have a house. No, they were denied for this house. Yeah. And that what was it that?
Because of past eviction.
Because exactly.
Eviction. So.
But I think he said three previous evictions or something like that. And he showed her the text message from the landlord.
Yeah.
Then Iyanla asked, well, did Neffe know that? And he said yes. I expected him to say no.
I thought this is what I thought. I thought he was gonna say no, she doesn't know, because it's a no offense, but with men, it's a pride thing. Like, he's working, he's a provider. He may not have wanted her to know that we didn't get the house, but she did know.
Yes.
So that's the problem. She lied, and now Iyanla's already.
She already prejudged you. Now you prove yourself to be a liar, and you told two lies.
Yep.
The second lie was that she was asked about the fighting, whether or not she fights him.
Yeah.
And Iyanla never said he told me that you fight him. Iyanla said, do you fight him, or something like that. And she flew off the handle. And this was the part where she was showing her temper and her anger. That don't make her an angry black woman.
Right.
That just makes her an angry human being.
Exactly.
You don't have to keep putting black on it every time.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I hate when people do that.
Because nobody say, oh, that's an angry white woman.
Look at that angry Asian woman.
Right.
Look at that angry Catholic.
Exactly.
Look, you know what I mean? I hate that.
Never.
I hate that shit.
Exactly.
But anyway, another story. So, she gets really angry. She gets defensive. Mm-hmm. And she's like, that was years ago. I don't fist fight him. And y'all understand, well, that's his experience with you. Now, this is where I agree with you, Iyanla.
Yep.
Because if a man had been beating a woman, you can't say, oh, I beat her like 5 years ago, so it don't really count.
Exactly.
No, it still counts.
It still counts.
You still put your hands on that woman. You still got to own it.
Right.
So, Neffe, you don't get no pass on that, boo.
No.
If you put your hands on him, you got to own it. I don't care how long ago it happened. The fact is that it happened, and you need to make sure that it never happens again, and that you never put your hands on somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Period. You don't get a free pass for that because you're a woman and he a man. You don't get a free pass.
It's never. You should never put your hands on anybody.
Exactly.
Woman, man, whether you together, I don't care. Woman, man, woman, no, it don't matter.
Right. And so then it comes out that she lied, because she was basically saying, like, at first she said it was years ago. Then she said, I don't fist fight him.
Yeah.
And then it comes out that later on that night, him and her off camera got into an argument about it. And she was saying, Why did you tell them I fist fight you? This, and that.
Yep.
So Iyanla confronts her the next day and says, well, wait a minute. You're saying that he fist fought you. We never told you that it was him that said it.
Right. She just
then she whipped out some paperwork.
Right.
Over.
She done had the receipts like, this is what you said.
She pulled out the pre-interview. Some kind of pre-interview that they record, and then they put it in transcript.
Yep.
And the transcript, she made her read her own words that said, I used to fist fight him.
Yep.
So now you done lied twice.
Yeah, she don't look good.
You lied about where you gonna live with your children.
Yep.
But I can understand that lie because who would want to admit they stand in a hotel?
I mean, you never know who's watching. So, CPS, Child Protective Services. I mean,
but it's a sense of embarrassment.
Well, yeah, that too.
Ashamed that you
lost your place
and you don't have anywhere a home, an address for your babies.
Exactly.
I get it. I get it. But you still lied twice.
Right.
So you kind of proving her point. It doesn't justify her behavior, but that don't make you look any better. So with that, all of that happening, you know, it was just a lot of.
It was so much.
It was a dramatic.
It was
2-part episode. It really, really was. And then they you know, Neffe kept saying, I like to use my voice. I like to use my voice. And Iyanla was talking to her about the difference between being assertive and aggressive. And she said assertiveness is about love and respect for others. And aggression is about fear and control. Well,
we got
I'm sorry, but I don't think Iyanla was just assertive this entire 2-part episode. And she had some aggressive moments.
Yeah.
And it may not have been about fear, but it was definitely control.
Well, yeah, she took over the conversation.
And it is her show. We'll give you that. But I do think it's a control issue because if she wasn't saying what you wanted her to say, you was cutting her down.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, let's talk about, she was upset about the video, the social media video where she was showing her hair and makeup people or something like that.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why Neffe, I kind of looked at it sideways, was not that you was having video with your hair and makeup people, but why were you 2 hours late?
Yeah, that part I do understand.
And then you're saying I'm 2 hours late because I didn't want to come because of how you treat me, but you laughing in the video, so you wasn't that distraught.
Are you what?
You wasn't distraught. So that kind of that is another
that makes you think.
Yeah, like, you can see where Iyanla was coming from because now you look like you playing a role because you said you so upset that you almost didn't come,
but
you was 2 hours late. But you could take a video of you laughing and kikiing in the car with your hair and makeup people on your way to do this interview. You so distraught about doing.
I'm so serious. That part kind of left me like,
I don't know, Neffe. That was a little. And so, you know, they were talking about that, but I do feel like there were parts where Iyanla was assertive. There were definitely parts where she was aggressive. So you can't really tell somebody the difference between being assertive and aggressive when you're being both and then pretending like you're only being assertive. Right. Assertive people, I definitely respect. Aggressive people, I kind of move back from because I don't want to deal with your aggression.
Oh, I've lost a friend. No, I'm sorry. I've you know, pretty much told a friend of mine who was an aggressive person, we can't be cool no more. I'm too old. You know what I'm saying? I'm too old for that.
Yeah.
And, you know, you got to talk about the grandma. The grandma saying.
Yeah. Iyanla and Neffe were having a conversation about how she didn't really know him. They don't know each other.
Right.
First of all, they married, but they don't know each other. They were talking about how Neffe didn't really get to know herself out of her last relationship because she just hopped into a relationship with Sullow, which we know because she moved in with him and his friend. Yeah. So you kind of jumped in the relationship immediately.
Relationship to relate from relate. And
then she said, Iyanla said, my grandmother used to call that before the bed drive. Girl, I tell you, I died laughing.
I laughed so hard. Oh my God.
And then somebody on Twitter was like, well, how wet was the bed? I was laughing so hard.
Oh my God.
It's kind of, you basically saying like you going from person to person to person. And we just talked about when we was talking about basketball wives.
Yeah.
And we was talking about how people go from person to person. And then I hope all these people using protection because my God, y'all just, you just passing your cookie around like you're just handing it out. Like here, you get a cookie, you get a cookie, you get a cookie. Like what the girl, you gotta have something better to do with your day to have your legs spread open. And if you a guy, you gotta have something better to do than plop it out your boxes every day.
Lying.
And I don't give men passes. I don't give men passes.
No.
And I can't stand that whole thought word.
Oh.
If you don't call women thoughts, you got to call a man one too, because men be out here, handing it out too.
Right.
Sometimes they be way worse than a woman, okay?
Right.
But everybody got something to say about the women. Nobody has nothing to say about the men.
Man, we'll get to that in another conversation.
Okay. So, I mean, and in that argument, he was telling her, Shelby was telling Neffe that she reminds him of his mother. She got really upset about that. She was like, you said I remind you of home. And Iyanla said, well, you never asked him what that means.
Exactly.
That Neffe, that was up to you to figure out what home meant to him.
Right.
And he's saying you remind him of it.
Yeah.
Because if he's a person who was molested and abused and his mother didn't
show him love,
his mother didn't even believe him.
You reminded him of home. He is giving you a warning sign.
Girl, listen, that is a red
sign.
That is a red flag.
Like, this ain't gonna work.
Like, if he tells you remind me of home and he was abused,
yeah,
you're not gonna do a head scratch real quick. Like, I remind him of home. Yeah. What the hell does that mean? That means that you clearly are not doing something right because he didn't have a great home life. He even said he didn't have a childhood. I agree. I didn't have one either, but I understand what he meant. Because you're a child worried about adult things.
Exactly.
A child shouldn't be worried about their safety, about their protection, about where they're going to lay their head, about what they're going to... There are certain things kids should never have to think about.
Exactly.
And so, if you know this man was abused and he tell you he reminds you of home, did you think that was a compliment?
It wasn't.
It was like, some moments Neffe was talking, I was like, girl.
Oh my God.
Girl, if you don't put two and two together. And so she was proving that Iyanla's point, like, you're not listening to him.
Exactly.
You've been with this man for 10 years and you have yet to ask him what it means that I remind him of home. So you get mad when he say, well, you remind me of my mother.
Right.
And then she's like, I remind you of your mother. Yeah, his mama was mean. And she was cussing him out.
Right. Didn't believe him when he was saying things, which is what's going on in their marriage.
Girl, bye. Listen, child. Listen, all three of them. No, it wasn't really him, because they didn't. You don't really get to see anything negative about him,
right?
Because he was put up on a pedestal the whole 2 episodes.
The whole episode, well, the whole 2.
The whole 2 episodes, he was on a pedestal. So I'm pretty sure he has his flaws because he's human. Yeah. But Iyanla won't let you know it. According to Iyanla, I'm telling you, he might have been an immaculate conception because he was perfect.
Right.
Everything has been done to him. He has never done anything besides take her in.
Right.
Iyanla didn't like that he took her in. she criticized him for that.
Yeah.
The only thing she criticized him for 2 things. That he took her in when she was with another man, which I understand that.
I get that.
And she criticized him about, what was the other thing? Oh, she called him an enabler.
Well, yeah, but he is.
He is. Yes. Besides that, okay, listen, that's 2 things. Okay, I'm gonna need a whole I need a whole piece of paper to write down all the things that she said about
Neffe. You know what I mean?
So it was crazy. And then they were talking, and he said this and that about how he didn't know how to make her happy and all this stuff. And she said that was the realest thing you've ever said.
Right.
And Iyanla, and he disagreed. He was like, no, that's not the realest thing I've ever said. But Iyanla just went in like, you're a bitch.
Yep.
I was like,
she just went in.
And
Neffe was like, I'm a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, she was taken in shock. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's when she started taking the mic off. Like,
she's like,
and I don't blame her. How you gonna help me and you judging me?
Exactly.
How you gonna help me and then call me out of my name?
Exactly.
And then she called her a bitch. And then when she get up, you gonna call you as she's walking away. You say she's a gutter snipe, straight up out the hood, and all this stuff. How are you helping her?
And the fact that she was saying that to him, like, she just basically.
And I gotta say something about him because you shouldn't have let that woman say about your wife that she's a gutter snipe.
Exactly.
And you don't sit there and say, and you don't sit there and say, no, that my wife is not a gutter snipe.
She might not be the most perfect person, but she's not that. The fact
I wouldn't have married a gutter snipe because that reflects badly on you. If you married a gutter snipe, then what does that say about you? Because the company you keep, birds of a feather flock together. So if you married a gutter snipe, then y'all sniping together.
That whole little situation right there, Iyanla, I don't know why. Why did she have to take it there?
And then when she came back, they finally, I guess the producers probably forced her to come back and say, hey, you know, talk to Neffy.
Sit down.
She, first of all, gonna tell her, I'm not sorry for calling you a bitch.
Basically.
I'm sorry for the way it came out.
Yep.
So, or you sorry for how you said it, but you're not sorry for what you said.
That part right there, I'm seriously.
I was looking at her like,
so
you should have kept that apology. That was the most disingenuous, insincere apology.
Yes.
I'm not sorry that I called you a bitch. I should have said it. I meant to say, you are such a bitch.
Right.
I didn't mean to say bitch.
Right. Like it's still the same word.
Right.
It's just the way I said it.
You know, I shouldn't have said you are such a bitch. I should have said, girl, you such a bitch.
Right.
Like,
get out of here.
Get your behind out my. I'm so. It couldn't have been me in that chair because to say it's not the word I use, it's how I said it.
Right.
It's like somebody said, you a hoe. No, I'm sorry. You such a hoe sometimes.
Right.
Like, oh, I'm sorry. You said it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. No, sometimes it's what you actually said.
What come out your mouth.
Okay, sometimes it's how you say it. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's what you actually said.
Right.
And you don't get to be a life coach. And because that's basically what she is. Because she's not a psychiatrist.
Right.
So
she's a life. She's self-care.
She's a self-help expert.
Yeah.
Life
educator.
You don't just go around calling people bitches and then say it's not what I said, it's how I said it.
Right.
So you would just be the world's biggest bitch. But I meant to say it nicer.
Right. Girl, get out of here.
Girl.
No.
Girl, bye.
I know. I paused it and I was like, look, I literally gotta walk away from this.
I had to rewind it. Like, she did not just try to justify calling her a bitch. Like, oh, I didn't mean to say it that way. Mm-mm. If I had said it like, you stupid, like, you're a gutter snipe bitch. If I said it nicer, it would have been better. It would have been like, bye. And so then, you know, that was basically the end of the episode. Like, that wasn't really the end, but the whole episode, he loves her, she loves him. Yeah. They want to try to work it out. Mm-hmm. You know, she still thinks she a gutter snipe, but she gonna help him.
Right.
Like, I didn't judge you since the moment I met you, even before I met you, based on some whatever I seen about you on social media. Because, you know, they showed the old videos of her on social media and stuff like that. You already judged her. You thought she was a bitch and a gutter snipe before you even met her. It showed by the way you treated her the whole 2 episodes.
Right. You took so much empathy and compassion for this guy, Shelby, versus they both are going through stuff. They're both there together to work on their marriage along with just themselves, period. She wants to find, Neffy wants to find Neffeteria.
Yeah.
You know, Shelby wants her to actually be, you know, set a good example for her.
But wait, before we go, I want to say y'all said 2 funny things this episode. One was before the bed drive.
That was funny.
I don't know what Neffy said to her that she was like, you need to go to the mirror and slap the first person you see. Yes. She was like, you need to go to the mirror and slap the first person that pop up.
Oh my goodness. I was watching it with my fiance and he busted out laughing. I had to pause it, rewind it, I played it again. She did not say you need to go to the mirror and slap the first person you see.
I was laughing so hard. That was funny.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
The next time somebody gets slick with me, I'm gonna be like, you need to go to the mirror and slap the first person you see.
Yeah,
you need to go to the mirror and slap the first person that pop up.
Exactly.
That was funny.
Yeah.
That was funny. But okay, so yeah, it was crazy. She apologized for the manner in which she called her a bitch.
Right.
That was so stupid. But anyway, we found out that, you know, that the episode ends. We found out that they love each other and all that stuff. But
Neffeteria,
she's
still trying to find herself.
She's still trying to find herself. This is the words that they put on at the end of the episode, basically when they catch up with the person a little bit later and see what's going on.
Yeah.
So we find out she's still trying to find herself. She's still drinking every day, which made me sad because I was hoping that, you know, that was something she would be able to work on. But hopefully she can still try. And try with somebody else besides Iyanla, maybe an actual therapist, because Iyanla ain't got nothing for you.
Right.
Nothing but judgment, baby.
Right.
So
Shelby's now, he's giving everything to God, right?
Yeah, he's trusting in God more. He's no longer giving Neffe money for alcohol, which good for him, because if he didn't like the habit, then he shouldn't support it.
Right.
And we also found out that they are now separated, and sadly, they filed for divorce.
Now, I didn't see the ending part. Of course, it cut off on me, but I didn't see that part. So when Shay told me, I'm like, ah,
that's really sad.
Yeah, it was really sad, but
maybe it's for the best, because we don't want them fighting each other, which. Yeah. Neffe said it was years ago, and we, it just kind of seemed like they were now on two different pages in their life,
right?
And hopefully, they can get things together and they can figure things out. Yeah. But we wish them both the best, and we wish their kids the best. And you know what? Wish Iyanla the best too.
Right. All three of them.
Yeah, if she listened to this, we probably a bunch of gutter snipes too.
Right.
I don't know. But anyway, thank y'all for listening, and we will catch y'all next time, because child, we had to sit up here and review it, okay?
So leave your comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe. Bye-bye.
Mwah. Thank you for coming to Writer's Vlogs.
In the description box, you'll find
links to our social media, blog, and anything else you need to know.
Be sure to rate,
comment,
and subscribe to our channel.
Mwah!